Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. Now, it's no secret that many astrologers predicted Kamala Harris would take the top spot, but as we all know, Donald Trump emerged victorious. Now today we will be taking a look into the world of astrology and its surprising connection to the recent US presidential election. Because a lot of people have reacted, a lot of videos have surfaced where, different people are just questioning the legitimacy of astrology. And in one of the videos, one of the speakers is calling out these astrologers for their failed predictions. Now, she specifically mentions that some astrologers claimed something significant would happen around November 18th or 19th, related to politics or the election. Now, fast forward to the 19th and crickets. Today is the 25th and nothing still is happening. Now, the speaker is understandably frustrated, labeling the astrologers as scammers for getting people's hopes up. Now, there's a lot of controversy on internet. A lot of people are talking about this, and this has sparked a heated debate about the legitimacy of astrology. Now, some are even questioning whether astrology is truly a reliable method for predicting future events. Now, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't even blame these who are, questioning the legitimacy of astrology, because a lot of these astrologers predicted that Kamala Harris would win. But hey, here we are. So with that said, let's take a look at these videos, and when I get back, we talk more about this. I'll be right back.
Bro, our girl with the dowsing rods, the girl with the metal rods? Yeah, she said some things about some things, and I know that we're all speaking in code now, but maybe Mamala is gonna be our, so she said that. Also, she said that the collective 3 a.m. wake-up call feminine energy thing was a real thing. Like a meaningful thing, and it means something, and maybe everything means something, and maybe I'm still in like Delulu La La Land, but I got my popcorn, because also there's some trouble in paradise. What's his nuts' little girlfriend that has that little they own that space thing. Yeah, apparently their egos are like kind of fighting each other. So I think that can only end in people talking. They're gonna tell on themselves. We're all gonna be okay. The collective and the spirit world are looking out for us, and we're gonna be fine. So grab your popcorn, folks. Let's go!
Listen, don't come after me, but I just remembered that these astrologers, these psychics, these mediums on TikTok got on here and told us that something was supposed to happen around the 18th or 19th of November in regard to politics and or the election. It is now November 19th. I'm just asking. It's November 19th. The 18th has passed. Where are y'all astrologers, psychics, and mediums that predicted this? Where are y'all? Come to the front. What was supposed to happen on November 18th and 19th? Exactly. And quickly. I'm giving y'all until the end of today. Otherwise, you know what? Y'all are a sham, a scam, okay? Why would you get our hopes up like that? Y'all are still honest. But after today, an even bigger list, all right? Because y'all got up on this app and told us that something was supposed to be happening on the 18th and the 19th. When is it happening? What is supposed to be happening? Y'all hyped it up for the day. Where is it? Come to the front and send her. Now. See, this is why people have trust issues with astrologers. This is exactly why people have trust issues. Psychics and mediums, almost there, on thin ice on this app.
Here is what I will say. If you are somebody who actually took the time to watch the entire video that this comment is posted under, you would know that I'm saying, what I deliberately said is that I don't feel like we vote, someone is a winner, and then that's that. What I did, in fact, say is that I see this playing out far longer than just right now. Is there a chance that I'm wrong? Of course, I'm a human. Is there a chance that all of the astrologers and mediums that you guys are referencing to in the comments are wrong? Sure. Does that mean that astrology is not real? No. I won't go too far into that now because, again, I do not believe that this process is over. I do believe that there's validity to what we have all been seeing and feeling. For those of you who have been following along, as you know, I've been talking about Pluto a lot. I've been talking about the Pluto oppositions and everything almost leading us to this point. Pluto and Mars, right? They were fighting for something. And right now, just based on the tone in the comments, people are heated. November 15th through the 19th or 20th really stands out to me. At this point, with so many hate comments, I'm not going to spend my time going into why. But regardless, go back and watch my last few videos. We're talking about a longer timeline here. I don't know how else to say it. I don't see this election as one where we vote, someone wins, and that's that. We have a lot of Pluto action. We have a lot of Mars action. We have retrogrades right now. We have a lot going on. And then we have every major planet shifting signs next year. I've taken this into account for the individual charts and the collective charts. That is where I'll leave it. And again, I'm happy to be wrong. Interpretation can be wrong. That does not mean that astrology itself is wrong, and those are two different things. Think about it like this. You can give somebody a math problem. They can attempt to solve it, and they can be wrong. So to say that the person is wrong versus the actual math, that's what we're talking about here. So please, for everybody saying that astrology is fake, please don't look at it like that. Look at it as the astrology is real and the interpretation is wrong. And my last note is just like, there are so many things that can happen. Again, when we look at Biden's upcoming astrology, even for this month and the dates that I mentioned, not looking great, right? What does that mean for Harris? What happens then? Trump's in general, I don't love it. And I'm not saying I don't love it for winning, right? I'm saying I don't love it, let's say, health-wise. There's a lot to consider and a lot that we're all probably not fully saying. There's so much, it's hard to say every little detail that you can see for every little chart. So please have your opinions because you are right to that. Try to not spread hate or misinformation, which, by the way, saying astrology is not real is misinformation. Again, you can say that I'm wrong all you want, but don't say astrology isn't real. I know that these are stressful times for everybody, but my best advice is please try to relax when you can. If you were to go back 6 to 8 months ago and say all of this would happen we wouldn't have even believed it then, right? So we need to give this time to still play out. We can't go into straight panic mode or hate mode right when we're not getting our way or right when things aren't, let's say, as they actually seem.
I want to talk about the potentiality of Kamala winning the election because the astrology, I don't know. The day after the election, there was a bunch of people that had all woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, had this gut-wrenching feeling that something's not right. So I started digging at the astrology, and I think, and you heard it here first, if she is going to secure a W at the last minute, it's going to happen between December 10th and December 17th. No later than the 26th. Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm an astrologer, tarot reader, Santamuerte devotee, and I'm a witch. And I also do readings. So if you want a reading, link in bio. We support small creators. Okay, so first I pulled up an ephemeris, and as you can see right here, Jupiter is going to enter 15 degrees on December 10th. 15 degrees is Gemini, and on December 10th, Kamala's transiting Jupiter will be in 15 degrees, transiting in the transit third house of Gemini, ruled by Gemini, hovering right over the native's natal 12th house, where the natal Jupiter is placed at 24 degrees Pisces, ruler degree, ruler house. When we put this in whole sign, the 12th house will be in Taurus, which the transiting second house is hovering over, which is its ruler, Taurus. Mind you, Kamala is having a first house perfection this year. Since the first house will be lighting up, the first house is ruled by Aries, which is Mars. Her north node is in the degree of 25 of Aries. And where is Mars in her chart? In the third house. And third house is ruled by what? Gemini. Third house deals with internal worlds, communication. So if this interplay is going to fight with communication about what? Well, what's hovering over the first house? Transiting fourth house, which is the home, fighting for your house. She gonna fight for the house. And the Pars fortune is there in the 7th degree of Libra, in the sign of Cancer, which is the ruler of the 4th house. I think she could be successful at this. Not seeing anything, right? There's no word. She's really been quiet about that. Well, what's hovering over the Mars placement? Because our Mars is our fight. Well, that is the 8th house. 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of mysteriousness, hidden, rebirth, transformation. What's in there? The transiting Mars. So I really think there's a potentiality she could score a W at the last minute. What do you guys think?
My prediction is that I think Kamala Harris will finally sit in the Oval Office. The results will not be announced soon after because there will be a lot of conflict and confusion regarding those results. So the day of the election, the moon is going to be in the nakshatra of Mula, and that's very concerning to me. This is the nakshatra that denotes the complete uprooting of a flourishing plant to expose its roots. This has spiritual connotations, but it in itself is a very aggressive and self-destructive act. So this nakshatra is always considered a very challenging one, where people make sometimes unwise choices and lead to aggressive and destructive. They have aggressive, destructive tendencies. So we can't rule out that this kind of behavior after the election also, where people get aggressive, they get violent also after the election due to the results. They don't like them, or they like them, or whatever it is that they choose to do.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm just in my Delulu era or what, or if this is just like a stage of grief. But I don't know if you guys have been watching all of the TikTok girlies that do astrology, or they're psychics or they're mediums or whatever. But they are saying that something is up, something is afoot. Trump did not win the presidency, and Kamala is somehow going to be our next president. They're not sure how, but their guides or spirit guides or whatever are telling them to just be patient. And they are seeing people being very happy around the holidays. Some people are saying something will come to fruition early December, mid-November. I don't know. This is helping me cope, and the difference between me and you is that I'm going to be fine if I'm wrong. I'm willing to accept if I'm wrong. Whereas you other people, and you know who you are, you won't accept when you're wrong, even when you are given literal proof. You won't. You're like, somehow that ain't it. I'm different from you. Okay? If he turns out to be president, then he won. That's what it is. But for there to be less people voting in this past election than in 2020, that's a little weird. Okay. All right, bye.
What are your current predictions for the 2024 election?
I predict Kamala's going to win the presidency.
So basically with this election, what you're saying is that Kamala's chart just looks more powerful than Donald Trump's?
Yeah, Donald Trump's chart is giving desire for power and control, and Kamala's chart is giving more following her life path and what she's meant to do.
So is it real? Is astrology real?
Yes, it's very real. Okay. Very real.
The stars had made a clear prediction for the election, but what could they predict about something that really mattered, like me?
I do see a wealth aspect in your chart.
That's fabulous news.
And Trump's a Gemini, and you have a lot of Gemini energy.
So you would say Trump and I are similar?
Yeah, actually, your Venus is on his sun, so you would fall in love with him.
My V is on his what now?
This is a marriage aspect, actually.
This changes everything. I mean, are you going to tell my girlfriend, or am I?
But for Trump, it's not outside the realm of possibility that he goes to jail.
So my husband is going to jail.
Yeah.
But I'll be wealthy.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're going to have the money.
I am loving astrology.
Now, in the months and days leading up to Election Day, many columnists, political strategists, commentators, and polling organizations offered predictions for who would win. Now, some even relied on polling data, others used a complex assortment of social and political indicators, while others simply believed that their preferred candidate ran a flawless campaign. Now, among those who predicted that Kamala Harris would win is an American political historian known as the Nostradamus of elections, who was seemingly at a loss for words early Wednesday when he realized his prediction that Kamala Harris would win the presidential election was wrong. Now, Alan Lichtman, who has correctly predicted the outcome of 9 of the 10 elections since 1984, was captured on a live stream repeatedly saying, "I don't get it," as Donald Trump's landslide victory started to become evident. The 77-year-old professor and his son Sam shared their stunned reactions in real time as the results rolled in toward the end of their nearly 6-hour coverage of the election. Now, this is the first moment of the night where I've lost hope a little bit, Sam Lichtman said as media outlets called Pennsylvania for Trump. The elder Lichtman rubbed his eyes, visibly frustrated by the data, and said, "Good thing I have nothing to do tomorrow, and I'm not doing any interviews." Now, Lichtman, an American university professor widely known as the Nostradamus of U.S. presidential elections, put his money on the VP this year despite polling data hinting another Trump presidency was in the cards. Now, The Simpsons, also known for accurately and shockingly predicting some significant events, got it wrong too. In an episode in 2000, Lisa was seen wearing very similar clothes to the Veep, a purple suit, pearl necklace, and pearl earrings. As the episode began doing the rounds on social media during the election season, many fans pointed out that it was an indication that Harris will win the election. An opinion poll from Lower Air had predicted that Harris would claim a surprise victory in the state in the presidential election. But this time, however, it was wrong. Now, as the United States general election drew closer, we saw how some were turning to astrology in hopes of predicting which presidential candidate will come out on top. Astrologists said the stars were aligning for Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris over Republican former President Donald Trump. Although Harris's presidential announcement seemed to appeal to most young voters, many did not share the same interest in mixing astrology with politics. Now, most Florida Atlantic University students didn't believe that astrological charts are capable of predicting who will win and believe that decision is up to the voters. One of the astrologers who predicted Harris' victory is Bruce Schofield, who has been studying astrology since 1967 and simplifies astrology as the study and use of mapping techniques to analyze self-organizing systems. When it comes to predicting who the next presidential candidate would be, Schofield said a snapshot of the sky during a significant time is taken and studied to foresee who will be the next president. Now, he referred to these snapshots as time slices, also known as birth charts, or more commonly called horoscopes. When you're looking at a birth chart, you're looking at a foundational map of the emergent properties of the organism or system that is being accessed, said Schofield, stating emergent properties are characteristics that appear when a system comes together. Now, at the time of one's birth, the alignment of the planets can reveal traits like strengths or weaknesses. Schofield said that astrologers then use this birth chart of planets as a map and then compare it to the current positions of the planets. By looking at how the birth chart planets interact with today's moving planets, astrologers can then make predictions about life changes, in this case, career opportunities. Now, Trump and Harris's birth charts were used to see which candidate's chart more closely aligned with the US birth chart. These comparisons were used to astrologically decide what the country will politically need at this time. Trump was born on June 14, 1946, and Harris was born on October 20, 1964, while the birth date of the U.S. is considered to be Independence Day, July 4, 1776. Now, Kathy Coleman, an accredited astrologer with over 35 years of astrology consulting experience, explained that in Vedic astrology, astrology based on ancient sacred Hindu text, the time it takes for a planet to orbit the sun indicates the kind of phases someone will experience during a certain time in their life. Now, she called these planetary periods. Planetary periods are specifically used in the Dash system, a branch of Vedic astrology, to read the periods in a birth chart. Coleman stated that there are 12 periods and these periods mirror the Earth's 24-hour rotation around its axis. Now, she said that based on where a planet falls, a different strength or need is shown. When Trump was elected, his horoscope matched carefully with the United States horoscope. Not so much when Biden was elected. Now, Harris is stronger than Trump's, said Coleman, explaining that based on the two candidates' horoscopes, Harris' chart matches with the country's current needs. To be honest, these recent US presidential elections have left many people stunned, particularly those who were convinced that Kamala Harris would be made victorious. Several astrologers had predicted her win, but the actual results told a different story. Now, this has led to a growing skepticism about the legitimacy of astrology. It's natural to wonder if something unexpected occurred that altered the course of events. Now, some people are even speculating that maybe, just maybe, Kamala Harris did win, but something mysterious happened to change the outcome. While this might sound like the stuff of conspiracy theories, it is important to acknowledge the disappointment and confusion that many people are feeling right now. The fact that so many astrologers and experts got it wrong has raised questions about the reliability of astrology and its ability to predict real-world events. Now, as we try to make sense of what happened, I feel it's important to remember that astrology is just one of the many tools that people use to try to understand the world. While it can be a useful guide for personal growth and self-awareness, it's not a foolproof method for predicting the future. I don't know what you guys think, but share your thoughts on what you think about this video in the comment section. Thank you for always watching and see you in my next video as we bring you another interesting video.